Script: Can Christians join secret societies? A warning about spiritual allegiance. Opening hook: Can someone follow God and still pledge loyalty to another spiritual system? That is the central question raised in a controversial message by Pastor G. Craig Lewis of EX Ministries. In his teaching, Lewis argues that certain organizations, particularly Greek letter fraternities and secret societies, require allegiances that conflict with Christian faith. For him, the issue is not simply about social clubs, it is about spiritual loyalty. Section 1. The question of allegiance. Lewis begins by referencing the biblical principle that a person cannot serve two masters. From his perspective, pledging loyalty to organizations that require vows, rituals, or symbolic allegiances creates a spiritual conflict for Christians. He claims that these pledges function as covenants, and according to his interpretation, those covenants can place believers in spiritual agreements outside their commitment to Jesus Christ. The warning centers on the idea that spiritual allegiance must remain undivided. Section 2. Symbols and ancient deities. Lewis also focuses on the symbolism used by certain organizations. Some Greek letter societies draw inspiration from ancient mythology, referencing figures from Greek culture such as Zeus and Apollo. In Lewis's interpretation, these mythological references are not harmless historical symbols. He argues that they represent spiritual systems that are incompatible with Christian belief. The message suggests that when believers participate in rituals tied to these symbols, they may unknowingly engage with spiritual traditions outside their faith. Section 3. Organizations under criticism. Among the groups Lewis specifically criticizes are fraternities, sororities, and secret societies linked to Freemasonry and Order of the Eastern Star. According to his message, these organizations contain ritual elements that he believes conflict with biblical teachings. Lewis claims that some of these rituals resemble spiritual practices that he interprets as forms of occult symbolism. It is important to note that many members of these organizations view them differently, as social, charitable, or professional networks. However, Lewis's message represents a strong theological critique from his perspective. Section 4. Fame, power, and temptation. Another theme in the message is the relationship between influence and spiritual compromise. Lewis suggests that some public figures, including entertainers and religious leaders, join secret societies in pursuit of fame, wealth, or status. He compares this dynamic to the temptation of Jesus Christ in the wilderness, where worldly power was offered in exchange for spiritual allegiance. The implication is that the pursuit of influence can sometimes lead individuals to form alliances that conflict with their spiritual convictions. Section 5. Generational consequences. Lewis also warns that spiritual commitments may affect future generations. From his perspective, vows or covenants made by individuals can create long-term spiritual consequences within families. He describes this as generational oppression, where patterns of struggle or hardship continue through bloodlines. Breaking those patterns, he argues, requires intentional renunciation and renewed commitment to God. Section 6. A call for renunciation. The message ultimately concludes with a call to action. Lewis encourages believers who have joined these organizations to examine their commitments carefully. For those who believe their affiliations conflict with their faith, he recommends renouncing those ties and reaffirming loyalty to Christ. The goal, according to Lewis, is spiritual freedom, a life where allegiance is directed toward one spiritual authority rather than divided between multiple systems. Closing reflection. Messages like this often spark intense debate. Some people see secret societies as harmless networks built around tradition and community. Others view them as spiritual systems that deserve deeper scrutiny. Pastor Lewis's teaching challenges believers to consider one central question: where does their ultimate allegiance lie? Because in matters of faith, the question of loyalty can shape the direction of an entire life.